Welcome to a new style of BTS, where I show you the raw and the ugly behind the scenes of how I shoot an entire event front to back. In this episode, I'm sharing the majority of the ceremony here. I just, at a certain point, we'll be pretty locked in for a while, so we'll just kind of fast forward through that. So I really only show you when things really happen. I'm sharing all the camera angles rolling all the way through, so you can see when I move, adjust, etc. And you'll notice that there's a red border somewhere. This shows the angle that was cut to in the final edit. So you can kind of have a better idea of, why all these angles are around and how we cut to certain things and, just to have a better idea of it. To see what's actually happening behind the scenes with all these other cameras and why we cut to that angle because maybe we're adjusting here or whatever. I hope that this is a different insight to behind the scenes and can relieve some of the stress while you're on your next shoot. Don't feel like you yourself have to be just perfect, for your entire shot all the way through. That's why we have multiple cameras. So, we have to move things and change things. It's okay. Like I just did there. You saw how I cut to, lower the exposure back. Because the sun in this first angle up here with the Z6, Z50, the one that I'm shaking all over the place getting ready, the sun is pointing at them. So they're gonna be incredibly backlit. Or wait. Actually, I don't even remember. It was a very hazy day. But, and as you can see, everyone's fanning themselves. It was so hot. This was the beginning of August. And I think August, at least in Wisconsin, is just so much hotter than July. I don't know, it's a different feeling. You know how the temperature's the same in spring and fall, but they feel different? It's July feels oh my gosh, it's summer, this feels good, but by August you're kind of sick of it. It's a persistent hot, it's been hot for a while, so I don't know, it was just a very hot day, and the problem, I love this venue so much, but the issue is they just have this huge, you can see how far back in this bottom left angle, how far back they cut out this whole field. It's so open. There's no trees nearby to provide any shade or anything like that. It's just this huge open field. And you think it's pretty until you're just sitting there for 20 or 30 minutes. But as you can see, I love being able to back up just enough to get the parents hugging if I can. Sometimes it's really rough because, I am shooting handheld, as you can see. Okay, so I guess to go over the angles that you're seeing here, also, I don't know if you could see, but it was a gray border there. That's just because this is that's the extra cam. I typically only have 3, but for the ceremony, just because there's so many angles and things happening, so many windows to shoot down, I add the 4th just for this moment, pretty much, and then I'll move this face cam into that border up there. But to explain the rest of the angles, really, the bottom right is a wide angle that I think got shifted for some reason. Somebody may have kicked it or something like that. Typically, I want it to, be perfectly lined up, with the crowd. And since then, because I wanted to show, the whole landscape, somebody from the back row could see it. And then the angle to the bottom left is supposed to be, just... Obviously, we can't be in the crowd. So as if you're in the first, as if you're front row perspective. So that way you can see all the activity up front. And then the top right angle is with my zoom. And I had this really far back just to get them walking through because there was such a long way for them to walk through. In fact, when the bride comes in, it takes a long time because they walk from the venue all the way down the sidewalk and then through and then down here. So, but I have that as just a nice tight angle for them to walk through because that's one window. The second they're done walking out of that, you'll see once they're done walking out of the top right, now they enter my window. And that's kind of the whole point to these. That's what I like to think of, especially for an event like this where there's so many people walking everywhere. Because then the second they pass out of my window in this top left angle, you'll see that they cross into, they're already in, the bottom left angle. So you kind of always see you see what I mean? Boom, and then they're there. So there's always something happening in a window here. granted, the wide angle in the back, the bottom right angle, is kind of just to be like the safe shot. You know, I only show it like at the very beginning of, you know, the video to kind of like just see everything, and it's just to capture as much as possible. And since then, like the last couple weddings I did at the end of this year, of this shooting year, the one that I'm, this wedding that I'm sharing here, if that makes sense. I messed up how I said that, but whatever. I have moved it to be, so like my second shooter is in the bottom left. You know, they're up there just to manage, so I'm not like swinging all the way around the ceremony. Excuse me. And I've switched it now to have the wide angle be up there with them. I don't think you can really see my second shooter from up there. But like I've switched it now to where the wide angle is up there with them, but it's like turned and faces the crowd. So that way you can see people in the front row's faces, and it's kind of like a reaction, but also a wide cam. And it's like, I'm trying to put them back into like the day. And I know that that's one of those shots that can really put them back. And I know it's not like perfectly center and stuff like that, because that'd be weird. But you know, it is good to see that. And I typically, that's another thing with like the angles of things, is I like to have it all in one, like kind of like an interview setup, how you always stick to like one side. The only time that I'll swing to another side, unless the middle lane is totally open and the photographer and I are working it out so I can just get the one solid angle down the aisle, then I'll loop around like for each of their vows if they're reading vows during the ceremony. So they're like framed in like the third, you know, that looks good. But otherwise, I always stick to like one side of the, just to one side. It just feels a little better to cut to. It's not as jarring, I guess. So as you can tell, we moved back up into this angle here. So now we're just dealing with the 3. At this point, you probably saw me walk all the way back. I'm gonna move this is where the second shooter really comes into play. I'm like, please don't do anything. Lock it in place. You know, this is your time to shine, because I know I'm adjusting everything. I'm restarting cameras, all that kind of jazz. So they're adjusting here just a little bit, which is fine, because things always change. In fact, I would love it after I'm done like looking back at this wedding now, I would change that bottom left angle. I would pull it back just a little bit so you could see more of the bridesmaids, and it wasn't just like heads, you know, like we could just kind of bring it back a little bit, punch in maybe DX mode from that 35 into more of like a 50 feel. So as you can see, I'm adjusting my zoom camera right now. We're probably gonna restart these cameras. I can't remember if I did, because I think they said it was a relatively shorter ceremony, so I thought I'd be able to get away with it. Yeah, that's one thing I would want to do for sure. But I think we were pretty locked in for the rest of this. You see me just trying. It's so, and you notice it's pretty dark. I have to expose this way because the sun was just so bright, and then it's crazy because like all the trees are in the back and they're completely shaded. It's like, yeah, I think they are completely backlit right now. But yeah, it's just, they're so backlit. I have to keep it that dark. So the vows start here, and I kind of need to like cut to that. I need to, you know what I mean? Like it's like now or never. I'm trying to get that little flower stuff from the arch like in the shot as well. And I'm kind of a fan of the shot. You know, it's because I'm shooting with 8-bit color for this. It's always easier to shoot really underexposed, and to just pull it up than to have, because like if something's overexposed, it's over. It's a wrap. This photographer was great. She got in, got our shot, moved right along, you know, and that's why we have multiple angles. Because I'm not trying to be like that, like you can't get in my shot, because like obviously I've got the best shot, you know, arguably, right? That's the issue with video though. You got to roll the entire time. Look at the wide angle down here. They are just fanning themselves. It is so hot. I remember I think the wedding before this at this venue, I was actually sunburned just by being out there for an hour. It was so bad. But yeah, if you look up at the sky, it's very hazy. It's not like cloudy, it's just hazy. So it was a weird look to deal with. I think for our zoom camera here, or the close cam, we've got, it's like I think we're at the 300 millimeter, like equivalent. We're fully punched in 200 on the crop. So we're pretty punched in. And I know because it's a crop sensor, you see I cut because I'm like wiggling it a little bit. On the crop, you kind of lose some of that, you know, bokeh. So when you punch all the way in, to people that aren't filmmakers, you kind of trick them because the compression makes up, I think, for the bokeh in a way. It has the same, I don't want to say the same effect because I know we're all gonna be like, no, it doesn't, no, it doesn't. But like two people that don't film, it fakes them. It fakes them out. And I think it kind of actually becomes a double positive for me because I'm getting that much more zoom and I'm still kind of achieving relatively the same look for the most part. I know you could disagree. I'm really upset with this wide angle down here because it's like off. Like it should have been like slightly adjusted back to the side, here. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, at this point, we're probably just gonna fast forward through all of this. The bride's gonna read her vows and we'll cut to like the next part of the event here. The groom is mic'd with the Tascam Lav, the Tascam DR10L. The bride was mic'd with that thin Sony mic, the TX660, I think it is, or something like that. And that was kind of like somewhere in her chest or like under her boob or something like that. And I believe the officiant, I just placed the same type of mic in his pocket, like the flap, like where his boutonniere kind of came, was like just like kind of perfectly covered it. So audio was on lock. The speakers were really far back, so that was actually a great thing for the audio side of this because we didn't have any echoing going on, so it was nice and crisp, sounded great. So you see, even with this, we can still see the main event here. So we don't really need to change. We're chilling. We're chilling right here. Things are moving along. We don't have to like restart the cameras or anything like that because of their 30 minutes max time recording limit.
Share some marriage advice. Now, between both Chris and Mike and Greg and Sherry and Mike and Chris and Greg, you guys changed partners there,
Yikes.
That's right. They know what they're talking about. And intentionally connect in small ways every day. Now, let's make this official. You may now kiss first time as a married couple.
So that was so random. Like it felt like there was no build-up for it, and thankfully the photographer and I were on the same page because we were like, whoa! Like even after we were like, that just like happened out of nowhere. So
it is with great joy and honor that I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Domingo Castro, united in love and life.
So thankfully we had already been on the same page because she had gone up, and knew that she was safe. And at this point, this is just for the film too. Like this, I'm not really using. This was great to use in the short film. She was just out of it. That's kind of the other pro to being so zoomed in, is that like it works so well with the photographer because you can be so like, they'd have to purposefully be in your shot, like directly in front of you to be in your shot. Also, it did help that this lane was incredibly wide. But at a time like that, if it was a little too tight, I would kind of zoom all the way out of the cam like it is right now, and just set it off to the side to get people walking down the aisle. And I would run up with the 50 that I was using in the beginning to just get them and like walk back with them. Yes, handheld. I'm a marcher. I know how to, march backwards on my tiptoes very well. So I'm kidding, but not kidding also. So, that's pretty much the wedding. It goes all the way, or the ceremony. It goes all the way through people walking down. They're done. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It's a different take. I'm gonna do the speeches next and the first dances as well. Obviously cutting, the music for some of it for, copyright reasons and whatnot. But I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Let me know if I should fix anything in the future in the comments below. Give it a like, subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you in the next one.